Let's do it. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today, we have another segment of the Business Checkup. And the Business Checkup is where we talk to a business owner and find out about their marketing. And I'll give my recommendations for improvements, and we can all learn something. Today, we have Kimberly Day from Ottawa, Ontario. She is a business coach. She is a twice published Amazon best-selling author, and she is a client acquisition specialist. And just so you know, she has already helped me to kind of tighten up some things and focus my offers. So now I have like a whole new what you call it a new focus, I guess, and a new system really for my, especially for my low ticket offers, but even for my consulting program, which I have decided to do in a group because I like groups, and I want to leverage my time better. So Kimberly, say hi.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. I already appreciate your help and all the help that you've given me so far. And so Kim and I have decided to become strategic partners. She has been giving me her secret sauce for attracting clients, and she has this gift. It's a bit like Dan Henry. If you know who Dan Henry is, you can tell him like who you serve, what you do, and he can come up with a pitch. Kim does that too. It's just so awesome. She comes up with like language just off the top of her head. So you better believe that I have recorded a lot of our meetings, and definitely I'm going to be going back and writing down like everything she said word for word, and I'll be using that in my marketing. So so tell us, well, what do they need to know that I haven't already said? Other than
Yeah,
that,
well,
you're a super cool person.
well, I mean, thank you. At least you think I'm a cool person. I don't know. It's one of those things with your marketing, just like you work in the marketing space too, right? And sometimes if you're listening, can you relate to like the fact that you're brilliant with other people's stuff, and then when it comes to your own stuff, you're like, you're just like
Yeah,
caught
absolutely.
caught in the deer in headlights kind of moment. And I think that's something that every coach, every course creator, every consultant kind of faces, that you're really great at your craft when you're helping other people, but when it comes to yourself, sometimes you got some blind spots, right? So
Yeah, that's
this is
true.
why working with other people strategically can make a lot of sense, because you get somebody else's the ability to bounce ideas off of another human, which is fabulous.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, so tell me, what's your goal for your business, say over the next year or next 5 years or so?
Yeah, so my goal for my business is really to move into this place where I'm putting systems and automation in place so I can leverage some of my expertise via systematization, so that the systems can do the heavy lifting, right? um, I know that for me, in order to grow, in order to scale, in order to be able to earn more, to serve more humans, that I need to have these tools in place for myself. Otherwise, you only have a limited ability to help so many people when you're doing all of the things yourself and wearing all of the hats.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree. I truly believe that your business can't, like you said, it can't scale or grow unless it can do a lot of the operations and the marketing without you.
Yeah.
Sometimes we like to talk about generational wealth and about building a business that we can maybe sell or pass down to the next generation. Well, you can't do that if it all depends on you. So those systems and that automation absolutely has to be in place.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's my next big step for my business. And, ideally putting that into place will help me, get to a spot in my business where it doesn't feel like it's so much work. Because if you're in
absolutely.
business for yourself, which I'm assuming people listening to Simone, you're possibly an entrepreneur, an online entrepreneur of sorts yourself. And that is one of the biggest challenges, right? Is that we get into business to create this lifestyle, this freedom. For me, it was about not just about money freedom, but about time freedom, right? And so now
Absolutely.
I've created a place where there might be a little bit of money freedom, but I sure ain't got no time freedom right now. It's like I am literally, there's sometimes not enough hours in the day. And I know that getting my tech in place is going to be one of those things that helps relieve some of that pressure. So I can focus on, it's a bit cliche, but so I can focus on the business, right?
Right.
Not be so much in the business anymore, but being more strategic about how I'm spending my time, how I'm helping my clients do the same thing, so that there is truly that not only time but money freedom, and that's what it takes, right? It takes kind of honing your craft, figuring out who you help, how do you get people results, what's the customer journey you're bringing someone down, and then putting those systems and tools in place to be able to automate and make it easier.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell me, how are you attracting your new leads right now?
Yeah, that's a great question. So for me, as you know already, but maybe the audience doesn't know, is I've been largely doing this organically and manually, right? So a lot of networking, both on and offline, um, being in part of groups where my target audience is hanging out. I do a lot of speaking. So I'm a big fan of, before you have your own audience gathered, go and take advantage of other people's audiences, right? And get on other people's platforms, right? Who's down with OPP? Yeah, you know
Yeah,
me. I like
right,
to get
right.
on other people's platforms, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a summit, whether it's a YouTube channel like this. Where is my audience gathered that someone else has already done the gathering? This is the
Mhm.
strategy when you're going out and speaking. And it's a great way to not only go and find where your audience is hanging out with an invitation to maybe bring them back to your own community and start building your own list, your own community, your own platform. But it's also a fabulous way to be positioned as an expert
Yeah.
because you're the speaker at the front of the room, right? It's an excellent way to find collaborative or joint venture partners, right? With the host who's hosting you
Mhm.
for the speaking.
Absolutely.
And for me, as a twice published author and as someone who teaches other coaches and course creators to write and publish their own books, paired with a book, speaking and a book are kind of the two, in my opinion, fastest ways to position yourself as an expert, as a thought leader, and use both of those tools to bring people down the path to working with you, right? If done properly, if done with purpose, with intentionality, with strategically,
Mhm.
those are my, by far, my two favorite tools for attracting leads into my business is using my book as a door opener for speaking opportunities and free media and publicity.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, and what you were saying about speaking on other people's platforms, I think it's a fabulous way to quickly build know, like, and trust because it's already built in. That audience already has built up a KLT with that host. And so you come in and they are introducing you to the audience. And because they already trust that person, now it's a shorter distance from, I don't know who you are, from Adam to, I like you, you're pretty cool, because this other person that I already know, like, and trust likes you too. So so it's a shorter path. And I'm also looking forward to you helping me to put together my book. I already have some book ideas that I'll be putting out there. So I love that. Now, so as you're attracting these new leads and you're on these platforms, how are you staying in contact with the people you meet and the people who are interested in you and what you do?
Yeah, so my strategy is fairly simple. It is to gather my audience inside of a community. So I personally use the school platform, but prior to hosting my community on school, I was doing it inside of a Facebook group, right? A free Facebook group. So wherever you're going to decide to join and bring your audience together, it doesn't matter whether it's school, there's Circle, Mighty Networks, there's Facebook, you can do groups on
There's
LinkedIn,
Greenhouse.
there's this Greenhouse, right? There are, I know people hosting and serving big communities, even on platforms like WhatsApp and Telegram. So
Yeah,
it's
true.
not so much about the platform, it's about bringing people together inside of a community where you can now, instead of just spouting information at them, in one direction, which is what
Mhm.
happens like here on a YouTube channel, right? Like you and I, Simone, can't have a conversation with the audience who's listening right now. But
Right.
inside a community, you can now start to have a conversation with
Yeah.
your audience.
Now
And
it's more of a two-way
there's,
conversation. They
there's
can talk
magic
back.
in the two-way conversation where
Absolutely.
now I can start asking questions, right? I can start encouraging engagement. I can find out what my audience is struggling with, not just by guessing what they're struggling with, but by asking them what they're struggling with. And
Mhm.
then creating content and material around solving those biggest problems. For me, I've been around long enough, so I have a pretty good understanding of what the biggest problems of my audience are. But for a lot of coaches, especially if they're just starting out, this is a struggle sometimes, right? It's hard. It's sometimes hard to go back to your early beginnings of where you were struggling and remember what it was like to struggle, right? So being able to get into conversation with your community is a really, really fabulous way to nurture those connections, right? Build relationship. Because in the world of online coaching, in the world of sales and marketing, connection equals currency. And
Absolutely.
it's not until you can get into connection and people understand that you're a real human and you can help solve their problems that they, open up their wallet and start spending money with you. So community is my favorite way to nurture the relationship that I build with my leads and my prospects to gently move them down the path. Again, a well-designed strategic path to working with me. And hopefully, some of them say yes, and some of them stay in the free community for forever. But it's a really fabulous way to be able to get into connection, get into relationship, help serve, help lead with service. And
Mhm.
then so people have a kind of an idea of what it might feel like to work with you.
True. True. Another thing I like about communities too is that they talk to each other
Mm,
and they help each other. So
yeah,
you don't necessarily have to do all of the heavy lifting, because
yeah,
if you get it to a point where there'll be people in the group, or people who have been there for a long time, like since you may first gotten started or something, and
yeah,
they've heard all the answers to the questions, and so then new people come in and they're asking questions. Then the people who've been there for a long time, they can answer those questions, and sometimes they're answering the questions even before you get a chance to. And it's like, hey, and y'all are doing great.
yeah. And
I'll,
I
I'll teach
love
you lessons, but
and I love that you
answer
bring that
questions.
up too, because another really great thing about that is I know people, sometimes the clients that I've been working with have been a bit reluctant to start a community because they think it's going to be more work. And what you just said is actually sometimes it becomes less work. So yes, you have to front end load some of your community with some content and with some posts and all of that kind of stuff. But eventually your community takes over and they're posting content that they find valuable, right? As long as you set a really great and open context, then content creation becomes easy because your community helps you do that by posting and creating content themselves. So
that's true. And another thing I like about communities too is that they're sticky. When people don't want to lose, they don't want to leave communities because that's where their friends are. That's where the people are who understand them, who get them, you know. Especially like as an entrepreneur, sometimes it can be a lonely road. A lot of times like your family doesn't get it, your friends don't get it, but being in a community with other entrepreneurs who get it, it's like, oh my gosh, these are my people.
It's
I want to be
gold.
here forever. And that's golden, yes.
So gold.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great point that you make, Simone. I remember staying in one of my high-end communities 2 extra years, even though I kind of gleaned all the information I needed for my business out of that community at that point in time. I was already running the systems that they were talking about very effectively. Yet I stayed an extra 2 years, and it was exactly that. It was because of community. I didn't want to leave those people, right? People will come for your content and they will stay for the community if you build it. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's where their friends are. That's where their people are.
Powerful.
You don't want to leave
Yeah.
them,
Yeah.
right?
If you
So
do
how
not
do
have
you
a community and you're listening, you need to build yourself a community. It is
build a
it's a
community?
powerful tool inside of your business, very much so.
Yeah. I have heard some people say that, and I think what's his name? He's big in the marketing space, Seth Godin. He's been talking about this for a good long time about tribes,
Yeah.
creating your tribe. And there are people out there who are waiting for you to lead them. And I've heard other marketers say that this is the way marketing is really going. It's that community space because
Absolutely.
even in our internet world where we all have access to phones and social media and everything, I have heard some people say that this is still like the loneliest time in history. People still feel lonely and disconnected and separated. And so being able to connect with people who get you is huge. And
Absolutely. Yeah.
if you can give that to somebody,
Yeah. And it's
you're
pretty
solving a
easy.
big problem.
Absolutely, for sure. It gives them a place to gather, right? I feel like they're seen and heard and understood.
Yeah,
Just like you said, right? When you're, especially as an online entrepreneur, when your family is not entrepreneurial or your friends aren't entrepreneurial and you feel alone, a community is a really great place to go. And
absolutely.
it doesn't need to be about business, right? It could be if you help people with their health, or you help people with their wealth, or you help people with, with their relationships, whatever it is that you're
Absolutely.
helping people. It's other people want to know that they're not alone in the struggles. And
Yeah,
chances are, if you're helping, somebody with with a certain problem, there is a community of other people that are struggling and won't feel so alone if you
May I
create
have your
safe.
attention, please?
The best part about having a community, and some people think it's hard to grow a community and attract really great people into your community, but again, if you do this community building strategically, one of the easiest ways I have found to build community is to place your lead magnet inside of your community, where a lot of people will build landing pages. And as you already know, I kind of accidentally fell upon this strategy because I am not a good landing page builder, right? Unlike you, the tech genius, this tech is not my forte. So in order to solve a problem for me, which was how the heck do I get this lead magnet to people without having to build a landing page, was I created a community. And I would tell people, hey, if you want the freebie, you've got to come into the community to get it, right?
That's awesome. I think that's such
And
a great hack
right. So
to
for those
grow
of
that
you,
community.
yeah, so for those of you who are technologically challenged, if you're not working with Simone yet to get your landing pages done, here's like a stepping stone to doing that is get people into community to get the freebie. And
Yeah.
now you can ask questions before they get into the community. So you can still capture the email, right? Which then your
Yes.
tech genius like Simone can grab those emails and upload them into, your CRM when you're
Yeah,
ready for that step. If you're not ready,
absolutely. So then
but
you're kind of communicating with them on from both ends within the community and with email and text messages. So
correct. Yes. And always forget the name of the book, but it's a new book and it's all about that whole concept of, it takes, I think it used to be 7 touches, right? If you're listening,
yes,
remember that? Like it takes seven
yes,
touches before somebody actually will potentially do
we'll
business with
buy
you.
something. Yeah,
Now in the online space, especially because it's so busy and there is so much noise in order to get above the noise, it is now said that it takes up, I think it's anywhere from between 11 and 15
yeah,
touches, more than 7 hours of content consumption
yeah,
across 4 different methods or channels. So
yeah.
in other words, they need to read your book. They
Mm,
need to be consuming some of your post content on social media, maybe seeing some videos of you, maybe
right,
attending a workshop, right? But
right.
they need to have consumed 7 hours worth of content over 4 different modalities
For different
and
channels. Interesting.
and and 11 to 15 times before someone will make a buying decision. So the landscape has changed, but getting in
Yeah,
community, giving them a freebie, getting them in community, then
yeah.
communicating them in the community and doing trainings like this or doing live streams or getting out and speaking hits all of those touch points,
All at
right?
once.
All at once. And
That's
so
awesome.
because people think content creation is hard, but it's not really hard, again, if you understand the strategy behind getting a customer,
Yeah,
right? All starts with understanding what your offer is, right? Knowing what you're trying to sell somebody, and then back engineering all the content pieces to lead people down the path to that offer. And then it's
absolutely.
just repurposing them. Your social media post could just as easily be a script that you do for a short form video, like a reel, right? On
Yes.
Instagram or on Facebook or a short on YouTube.
Yeah.
Even LinkedIn has short form video now. So if you don't think short form video is important, it is. Every platform has it now, right? It's not just for
Yeah.
TikTokers anymore. It's
No, right.
on
It's not just
every
for
platform.
dancing.
Yeah, it's not just for dancing TikTok creators. It is a viable form of content. And the best part is they'll only let you do a minute. So how easy it is to just talk about something you know already for one
Yeah.
minute, right?
I'm learning that you can actually do like a complete Russell Brunson hook story offer within a minute of a short form video. You
Yeah.
can actually tell a story, give a tip, do a hook, make an offer, have a call to action, all within a minute.
Yeah.
It actually doesn't take that long to do all of that, really. It's pretty
It doesn't if
interesting.
you thought it out, right? You're not just posting content on a whim. Again, you're posting content strategically, right? So,
Yeah, absolutely.
and then of course your call to action in a short form video is not like for your $2,000 program. It's
Right, right.
it's about, hey, get the freebie, or
It's
hey,
get
why
the
don't you join us
freebie
in
or
community?
comment below or like my
Yeah,
channel or, yeah,
yeah.
something like
Register
that.
for this free workshop. Come to this free training. Join us in
Yeah.
this amazing engaged
Join us in
community,
our group, right? Join
right?
the
So
community.
yeah,
This is where
yeah,
your people are.
yeah. So
Exactly.
people think of a call to action as a sale, but it's not really. It's just another step. So if you
Yeah,
know all of the steps you want your customer to take, then all of that content creation part becomes really easy.
yeah. Coaches, are clients slipping through the cracks in your business, even at 6 or 7 figures? Don't skip this. You're about to find out why your sales growth feels stuck. You're amazing at coaching, but behind the scenes, leads fall through the cracks, admin tasks eat your time, and scaling feels harder than it should. It's not your fault. Your business is leaking opportunities you don't even see. That's why I created free resource 66 strategy holes that are blocking your sales growth. It shows you the exact blind spots in your client lifecycle where you're losing time, money, and clients. So you can finally grow with ease. And these strategies work. One of my clients plugged in just one of my automated systems and grew her revenue 300% while saving over 10 hours every single week. Imagine what fixing just half of these 66 holes could do for you. If you're a serious growth minded coach, stop patching leaks and start scaling with confidence. Join my free online community today and grab your copy of 66 strategy holes that are blocking your sales growth. Click below and get it now. When people, that's kind of the way it is with a funnel. Every funnel has, your funnel going to have multiple steps, and each step has a call to action. That call to action doesn't necessarily have to be buy my thing. It could be join my list. It could be share this with a friend. It could be, it could be any number of things, really.
Click
So,
this
yeah.
button, send me a testimonial, go check out my website. There's so
Yeah.
many ways you can start engaging people so that you can hit those 11 to 15 touch points. You
Yeah.
can get people consuming your content. 7 hours is not that hard.
It's not
It
that
sounds
hard.
like a lot,
Absolutely.
but when you spread this out over, maybe a few weeks, a few months, it's not hard to get people to consume that much content if you, again, you're doing it strategically and you have a plan in place.
Yeah, absolutely. So now you have people in your, say, your free community where you're sharing your lead magnets and you're doing live trainings and webinars and things like that. Now, how do you convert them to join your program? What
Ooh,
comes next?
yeah, I love that. So in its simplest form, you need to get somebody to a conversion event, right? Literally. You need a place where you can now get into that sales conversation. So, which is your conversion event. And the easiest one, and where most coaches and course creators and program designers and entrepreneurs start, is a one-on-one sales call, right? So getting on an enrollment call with a potential lead or client is a conversion event. Now, of course, there's all sorts of different conversion events. In fact, in my program, I teach my clients about 5 different types of conversion events, and then we figure out which is the right one for that coach at whatever stage of business that they're in. And then we design it and we structure it so that it actually leads your prospect down the path of working with you. Because even just an enrollment call, right? If you don't do an enrollment call strategically, people don't just buy your stuff, right? There needs to be a path that you're leading them down inside of that conversion event. I do a 3-day training as my conversion event. So you'll see them all over the place. A lot of people call them like a challenge, right? Like a Facebook challenge is a conversion event. Some people will do a webinar or a masterclass, right? So that's kind of like the stepping stone. It would be like you start with a sales call, and then as you're advancing in your coaching, you maybe host a webinar or a masterclass, and then the up step from that would be a multi-day conversion event, like a 3-day challenge like I do. I used to do actually a 5-day challenge when I was only teaching people how to write the book. But in today's world, I mean, people are busy and their attention span is less. So I've actually reduced the amount of time that somebody is spending with me inside of an online training, but still delivering an immense amount of value. And that's where I have my enrollment conversation. Is I tell people about my program live during the training. So again, a bit more of an advanced strategy. But some people do retreats, some people do summits, some people do weekly trainings. The idea is you don't have to do all of those types of things, but you have to at least pick one
Right.
and have it implemented into your business so that you know you're giving somebody a free lead magnet, right? Inside
Mhm.
of your community, which leads them to a conversion event, which leads you to offering them or inviting them to take another step with you inside of your program. So it's really simple. Like, people think online business is complicated, but it's really that simple. It's having a really fabulous offer, understanding what your offer is, because if you don't
Mhm.
understand what your offer is, like Stephen Covey says, you have to begin with the end in mind. The offer
Right.
is the number one thing you need to do. Then
Right.
from that offer, you back engineer your content, and your top of funnel content is a lead magnet,
Right.
right? So you offer a lead magnet, you put it inside of the community, right? Then
Yeah.
you nurture your community and invite them to your conversion event,
Conversion event. Right.
right?
Awesome.
And once you know that that whole pipeline is working, like you're actually having people convert into your program, then
Mhm.
that's when you add fuel to the fire and you start putting traffic into the top of that funnel,
Right.
and you just fill it. And traffic can come from paid advertising. It can come from speaking and inviting people into the top of the funnel, right? It can come
Mhm.
from organic outreach in the DMs, in Facebook groups, when you do online networking.
Yeah.
But that's in its simplest form, the path that you're leading somebody down. And it's not that complicated when you understand it's just a formula.
It's
And if
yeah.
you,
It's step by step.
it's a
It's a
formula,
funnel ultimately.
it's a funnel.
It is.
And
It's a
everybody thinks of funnel, they think of the tech, like you, Simone, right? But
yeah. They
your
think of the
funnel,
pages, but
the
it's
funnel
really the
begins with
steps.
understanding the customer journey and the steps.
Yeah. It's the
Yes,
journey. Absolutely.
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 Yeah.
All right. So how do you, now that they've attended your event, your conversion event, and they've said yes to your offer, how do you onboard them? What do they do? What comes next?
Yeah. So onboarding, I mean, a lot of people, you can muck everything up in the onboarding process for sure. You need to have a way to, keep people excited, especially if you're enrolling somebody where your class isn't starting the very next day or even maybe the next week. So sometimes there's 2 or 3 weeks between when I've enrolled somebody and when class actually starts, right? The
Mm.
group program. I run my courses as group programs
Yeah,
because, like you mentioned, I love, first of all, the fact that working with more than one human at the same time leverages my time.
absolutely.
But I actually also truly believe that when you bring people together inside of a group coaching program, there is power in the mastermind, right?
Yes,
These people
yes.
not only get to learn from me, they get to learn from each other,
From
from
each
the
other,
mistakes that they're
absolutely.
making, from the successes that they're having, and the celebrations that are, and the milestones that are achieved, right? So I run my programs as a group because I truly think they're magical. They are, I wish I would have started group coaching earlier than I did. But like a lot of coaches, I thought, well, nobody's going to, everybody wants my one-on-one time, right? So I need to be present for my one-on-one clients. And the minute I ran my very first group coaching program, not only did I find out the magic of running group programs, but I was able to reduce my pricing so
Mhm.
that more people could access me. And in turn, I more than quadrupled my income in my very first run at a group coaching program.
Yes, that's a big win for
So
the coach too,
that's a
because
that's a big win.
it gives more access to people when you lower the costs, but
Yeah.
then you make out better because it's just more people,
Yeah,
more
I got
people
more people. I had a
paying
bigger
at the same time.
overall investment, yet I
Mhm.
had more people be able to invest because I lowered the barrier to entry, right?
Yeah,
And it was just magical.
yeah.
And now, I mean, even the onboarding process for me continues to evolve. So
Mhm.
now, of course, at first I didn't have this. At first, it would just be like, hey, let's do a jumpstart call, and I did a
Mhm.
jumpstart call, and then here's when class is starting. And now I have some jumpstart call training that they can listen to, right? So I've got
Okay.
a few recorded onboarding calls so I can get people started with some of the beginning tools that'll set them up for success if they come to the call having thought about it already. Things like offer creation, right? That
Yeah.
first step. And then of course now I have also a classroom area where I have pre-recorded trainings. I have handouts. I have resources and tools and support inside of a private paid community. So just
Right.
like you need a free community, I also have then a paid community area where they get access to all the recordings and the trainings and the tools and the templates and the swag files and all those goodies. So they can
Yeah.
get into that community and start going through some of the trainings and start working through some of the exercises. And that way, people that want to move fast can move fast because they have access to everything. People that just want to take their time and go step by step and follow the process that I'm laying out for them can do it at that pace. But it helps you then adjust to the different paces of the different students that you have inside of your paid program.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. So, how now that they're a part of your program, they're in the group, they're working through the course material and the training, and they're meeting with you on a regular basis. Do you have a process to surprise, delight, and wow them as they are clients?
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, surprise, wow, and delight. I've always been a type of coach that really truly over delivers. I believe, as I'm still small and not overworked, that is kind of my strategy right now for wowing and delighting. But I imagine you probably have a lot more to offer where it comes to that. Because right now, all I have is the fact that I just give so much. People are always talking about how many resources that they're getting inside of the community. And I have just added a retreat. So that could be something I add
I
to
like
my
that.
client bonus list to wow and delight. But
I like that.
I'd
Yeah.
love to hear your opinion more on that because you're the expert on wowing and delighting for sure.
Oh, what's interesting is that so you taught me the three pillars, and so I have and I'm putting together an automation made easy bundle. Well, I have a bundle right now, but I'm updating it. So the update is to have the nurture piece kind of run throughout all of the pillars. But my last pillar, the retain pillar, it's attract, convert, retain. My retain pillar is where the surprise, delight, and wow comes in. And
Mhm.
so I'm working on a system where a coach like yourself can collect birthdays and have like a customer appreciation
Mm,
club or a customer appreciation system.
mm.
And so you collect birthdays, you may collect keep the date that they've signed on with you, and on that day every year, or actually, like I was just at Chipotle, and they have in my account, oh, it's your 6 month birthday. Get a free
No
get
way.
a free drink, right? And so you
That's
keep those
awesome.
dates, and you surprise them with like little gifts and little tokens of your appreciation. Have a birthday gift, maybe a gift card, or just a card that lets them know that you remembered them.
Yeah.
So I'm putting that in place, and then I'm also doing putting in place, and this will be part of like a customer appreciation bundle where you can have them. So as part of the retaining and actually getting them to help you to get more clients,
Oh, yeah.
have them earn points by referring people to you. So
Yes.
as they are sharing you on their social media channels and through email and stuff like that, and even giving you names of their friends and people who you can serve, that they get points for that. And as they rack up points, they get rewards and prizes.
I love that.
So
Yeah.
that's what's kind of
That's
going
what's
off in my
cooking in
brain
your
right now.
community. I love it. Yeah, I mean, there's always so many ways to wow, surprise, and delight. So I love getting those new ideas from you. I know always include at some point. It's never right at the beginning, so it is, I guess, a bit of a surprise. But I'll always autograph a copy of a book
Oh
for
my God,
clients
yes.
than that.
Yeah.
I'm actually teaching now inside of my community how to create an affirmation card deck that supports your program training material, kind of like,
Yeah.
like the cue cards of like when we were in grade school and you'd be studying using cue cards. Now they're affirmation cards, right? And I know people love a great card deck. So
True.
teaching people how to incorporate a card deck into their trainings, and then they make really fabulous gifts
Yeah,
when somebody can tangibly hold something from you in their
that's
hands.
true.
There's something special about that, right?
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. And maybe even a gift card with a barcode or a gift card with like, chocolate. Get chocolate or
Yeah.
a slice of pizza or, something that just has nothing to do with their business, but just makes you feel good.
Yeah, true that.
So those are some things that can be done without you in an automated way, because you know how I like automation, right? It can be done automatically, and you don't necessarily have to go out and actually buy the gift cards and stuff like that. There's ways to connect your CRM with other systems, and you know you send the person's information over, the order gets put together and sent off to them, and you're none the wiser, really. Next thing
I
you
love
know,
it.
you're on your Facebook page and you're just scrolling through, and you see a post come up that says, "Hey, I just got brownies."
It sounds
Yeah.
amazing. It sounds
I'm
amazing.
like, "Oh, she's so wonderful. I love her so much."
I love it. It's a great idea.
Yeah. So those are some ideas that are kind of gelling in my brain right now.
It's amazing.
So, do you have a plan to upsell your your group members and people in your program?
So unlike the ascension model of days gone by, I actually start with my highest paid program as my offer, as my core offer. I know that clients get the best transformation when they're in this immersive program with me. So that's actually where I start people as opposed to end people.
Okay.
So, whereas you mentioned him before, Russell Brunson, he's brilliant, no doubt about it. But he talks about, starting with your $7 thing, and then your $27 thing, and then your $97 thing, and then your $1,000 thing. I actually start everybody at my highest end program because I want them to get the results and the transformation. And it's
Oh,
only if
makes sense.
somebody, isn't ready for that, or, sometimes it's just a matter of timing or finances or something's happening, right? That
Yeah.
then I have a downsell actually, where I put them inside of a community as well, but one
Hmm.
that's just lower priced, a smaller investment,
Hmm.
still has amazing resources, just a little less access to me as the coach. So
Right.
that's what my model looks like. It's
Ah.
into
So
the
it's more,
community, down
instead of
the
a Russell
up.
Brunson model, it's more of an Elon Musk model, right? Let's start with the high-end car and then bring them down the ladder
Yeah,
if they don't get the
it's a
higher end.
reverse ladder, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, so you've got my juices flowing on that, because I was thinking of going ahead and starting my Automation Made Easy Academy with that Done With You program. The program will be there, but I'm thinking maybe I should go after the strategic business, and I think I'm going to call it a mastermind instead of an academy. The
Yeah.
academy will be
Yeah.
for
Hmm.
the lower end, and the mastermind is for the higher end,
Hmm. Yeah. And I mean, it's,
our
uh,
inner circle.
there's people doing it so many different ways, right? The
Yeah.
important part is pick a way
Hmm.
and then run the way, like,
And go
and
after
keep
that.
running
Yeah.
the way and rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat and rinse and repeat. The problem that I see in most people's businesses is that they're like, oh, they tried their masterclass once and then they didn't get people there, and they're like, oh, the masterclasses don't work. And it's like, well, they do work, but maybe you just didn't have enough people there listening to your offer. right? Or maybe
Yeah.
there was some messaging that wasn't really landing with the people that were in the room.
Mm,
So you can't just try something once and decide for yourself that it works or doesn't work.
right.
There's some moving parts that need to get figured out. But once you understand your customer journey pathway, which is critically the first step that you need to understand, and you understand what that offer is that you're like, what is it that you're selling, then everything else is just a formula that you back engineer. So
Yeah.
it doesn't
Fantastic.
have to be complicated,
Right.
right? It's simple. I didn't say it's
Yes.
easy, but it is simple
Yes. But it
when
is
you
simple.
understand the formula and you're willing to roll up your sleeves and do a little bit of work to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me about your referral process. Do you have a referral process already in place, or is that something that
I
you're
do have a
working?
referral process. Yes.
Mhm.
I gladly and happily pay for referrals. So if you do know anyone who needs help with their system, yeah, it's just a no-brainer to be able to incentivize people to help bring you business. And as you know, if you can leverage technology to do that. So there's codes and links and tracking, so you don't have to track it yourself. That's even a better system, a better affiliate system. So I'm hoping that you're going to help me get that sorted and systematized, sister. Um,
Absolutely.
in the meantime, I've been doing affiliate and referral programs since I started without the tech, right? If you're somebody with honesty and integrity inside of you, right, and you offer to give somebody a referral fee for sending you business, then can be as simple as that, right? It can be as simple as a handshake, um, as letting somebody know that you'll pay for referrals. Of course, you have to be in integrity and do that, right? So but as you grow and scale, clearly the technology of an automatic and digital affiliate program is 100% the way to go.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
That completes our business checkup. And it sounds to me like your whole customer journey is filled out. The only thing you need is to just automate it all. And
Yes.
I'm here to help you do
I know.
that.
I love it. It's amazing.
That is fantastic. I think you're the first person that I've had on here that really had thought about the whole customer journey, like from attraction to they are raving fans and they are sending you referrals.
Yeah. And just because you have it all figured out doesn't mean you have it all figured out, right, Simone? So
Yeah,
it's
we can
like,
always improve, right?
uh-huh.
Like you
Hmm.
said.
But you
And
can't
it's
build
funny.
something that you don't understand what you're building. So for me, understanding the customer journey and knowing how you're going to put all the pieces together is kind of like having the blueprint, right? It's
Yeah.
having the architecturally designed blueprint. And now I'm hiring my engineering team to be able to put it together and
Mhm.
putting all of the pieces in place. And it's just getting better and better and better every day. And I know I don't remember who the quote is from, but it always reminds me of that quote that you don't have to have it all figured out to get started, right? Like you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start if you want to get great. So
That'll
you
be
don't have to
great.
have
Yeah.
all the T's crossed and all the I's dotted. You just need to get out there literally with your offer. People
Mhm.
think they need the websites and all of the bells and whistles to begin. You don't. You need to have maybe a Zoom link. You need to have
Mhm.
um,
Or just your phone.
phone, right? You need to be
Absolutely.
able to have a conversation with someone
Yeah.
and determine what they're struggling with and whether you think you can help. And then if you think you can help, inviting them to help. And it can be literally as simple as that. That could be your first sale. And then you use those proceeds to go and put a CRM in place, hire
Yes.
somebody to help you out with that,
Yes.
start building the tools, right? But it all starts with literally serving another human being and helping them get a result. That is as simple as business needs to be. Yeah.
Awesome. See,
Mhm.
this is now you guys know. You know why I like Kim so much. She's awesome.
Aw, you're so
And
sweet.
super duper smart. So you have, I don't know if you had some props. So you had some great like sticky notes to show us
Oh yeah, my
in
sticky
your
notes.
book. which is
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, so here's the thing I want to know if you have to show the person watching your framework, that triangle
Absolutely.
diagram. I think I'm gonna make mine a circle. But
Mm.
I like your triangle diagram. You have that handy where you can show everybody your framework?
You know, I have my framework handy because that's what I teach people how to do inside of my client conversion academy, right? It's literally about my three pillars of business, which should be your three pillars of business. If you are an online entrepreneur, you really only need to master three things. That's the best part. You need to learn how to attract customers. You know, need to learn how to nurture those leads and prospects, and you need to be able to convert them into clients, right? These are the three keys to consistent and predictable leads, clients, and income in your business. And inside of my academy, I teach you how to master these three pillars and help you design your clear path, right? What is the person that you're trying to work with? What is the problem that you solve? What are the results that they're looking for, right? So we can create clear and compelling marketing messaging for you in the form of your offer, right? Your irresistible offer, so that
Yes.
you have that program that you understand that you're trying to offer to somebody, right? And then we're going to design your client funnel, not the tech funnel. That's Simone's job, but the funnel, which is the customer journey, understanding the step by step by step a path that you're leading your client
Yes.
down, right? How to
Right.
create a really irresistible lead magnet that they want to grab and get into community to get, right? So I'm going to help you design and build your lead magnet and your community so that you have that place that you can start that nurturing process, moving them into the conversion phase. And the conversion phase is just as simple, right? It's what kind of conversion event are you going to use for your business? Right? One of those five that I mentioned. And we're going to design it. Then we're going to put a whole bunch of traffic inside of it so that you have butts and seats for your workshop, for your masterclass, for your 3-day events, for your sales calls, whatever it is that conversion event is. We're going to fill it with people and leads and prospects that have self-identified that they want your content. And then we're going to teach you how to have a powerful enrollment conversation so that you can actually convert those people into paying customers, because enrollment doesn't have to be hard. People get a little bit scared of the sales conversation, but when you approach sales as you're serving another human, you're helping them solve a problem, and really all you're doing is inviting them to say yes, not to you or
To
your program, say
themselves.
yes to themselves, then sales
Absolutely.
becomes easy because you're doing it in service. And that's
Yes.
in a nutshell what I teach people how to do. And if you're not sure if this is something you want yet, I have a toolkit too. I have a toolkit where you can get a little bit of help inside of my community. You can see what it feels like to get some tools and resources to help you identify what it is that you're trying to sell. I have a ChatGPT book launch blueprint, which you can use to not only design your book, because I've got a little secret for you. Your book is just a mirror image of your program. So once you understand what your program is, your modules of your program are really just the chapters of your book.
Right.
So I help you do that with the help of tools like ChatGPT and workbooks that go along with it. Then I have the 5 launch maps that I talked to you about, right? The 5 conversion event launch maps. So I'm going to give you PDF versions of those so you can look at them, you can study them, you can see what all the steps are that go into them. And then I have a training that I do with those so you can decide which is the right one for you, for your leadership and coaching style, for your where you're at in your business. So you can choose one of them. And then I give you a third resource inside of that toolkit, which is all about traffic strategies, right? So how do you get butts and seats? How do you fill your workshops, your master classes, your events, and your programs with high quality, high ticket clients that are ready to work with you and get those transformational results?
That's exciting. That's exciting. So we're going to put the links in the description so that you can get into Kim's community and get the toolkit and get all these great lessons that she is teaching. I love the fact that you have blueprints for everything. There's a framework for everything. It's all very organized. I can't say that like you're super automated with everything, but you've got a blueprint for everything. When you have a blueprint for everything, then it's easy to automate because you're starting from somewhere, which is fantastic. So, which makes my job easier, I have to say.
And soon I will be automated because I'm using Simone and her genius to do it. So
Yeah,
I'm excited
yeah,
about that. I'm really excited about
absolutely.
this next phase of my business, which is all about the automation. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's fantastic. So yeah, all of those, the links to the community and the toolkit will be, well, not the toolkit, maybe the community, because right, you're going to get the toolkit inside the community, right? You have to join the community, in order to get the toolkit, meet Kim, meet the other members of the community, and get in there and start learning and start figuring out how to put together your three pillars and put together your framework so that you're organized and people know what you're talking about when you're trying to
Yeah.
talk to them about your program and what you do. I'm thankful for my three pillars. It just makes it helps me to keep everything just straight. And then when I'm creating products, I'm like, okay, it goes into this pillar or that pillar or that pillar. It's very organized and and
Well,
systematic,
having
which I
that
love.
clarity gives
Yeah.
you confidence to be able to talk about your program, right?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, I
very
can
clear.
basically do mine now without even showing the triangle, right? Because I've
Yeah,
said it so many times, right? I don't even the it's just the little cues that I need to like elaborate on each of those points. So yeah, I love teaching that visual offer framework. It's really fantastic and helps bring a lot of clarity. So if you want to learn how to do it too, hop into the toolkit, hop into the community. I always deliver some free training around the toolkit too to help you implement it more effectively and faster. So you'll get access to that free training as well by popping into the community.
absolutely. So we're going to put that link in the description so you can join the community and get started.
Yes,
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kim, for being here
you are
today.
welcome.
And thank you for watching. And make sure you share this, like the video, comment what was your biggest takeaway? What does your framework look like? I would love to know. And yeah, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Thank you for watching my video. If this content has helped you in any way, help me to share this with others by subscribing to this channel. And please click the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Also, like the video and don't forget to comment below your biggest takeaway so that we can share it with others. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.